Greetings, seekers of truth and spiritual understanding. Have you ever felt that strange sensation, that unmistakable feeling that the universe is trying to communicate with you? Those moments when coincidences seem too perfect, when numbers appear in patterns too precise to be random, when dreams reveal insights too profound to be mere imagination. What if I told you that these aren't simply random occurrences or figments of an overactive mind, but rather they are the whispers of a vast cosmic intelligence that has been attempting to communicate with you your entire life? The universe speaks a language, ancient, intricate, and profoundly personal, that flows through every aspect of your existence. This language transcends the limitations of human speech and thought, operating on frequencies that most people have been conditioned to ignore or dismiss. But this cosmic communication system has never stopped transmitting, even as humanity has forgotten how to listen. Right now, at this very moment, as you absorb these words, the universe is sending you messages through a sophisticated network of symbols, synchronicities, and sensations that are uniquely calibrated to your consciousness. This isn't mystical speculation. It's the forgotten science of cosmic communication that ancient civilizations understood intimately before this wisdom was systematically suppressed and hidden from the masses. What would change in your life if you could decode these messages? What doors would open if you could understand the guidance that's been offered to you all along? The truth is that most people move through their entire lives missing the profound cosmic conversation happening all around them, settling for a muted existence when a symphony of universal wisdom awaits their awareness. The veil between you and this understanding is thinner than you might imagine. In fact, you've likely experienced moments when this secret language broke through into your conscious awareness. Those inexplicable gut feelings that saved you from danger, the sudden inspirations that seemed to come from nowhere, the meaningful coincidences that defied logical explanation. These weren't anomalies, they were glimpses of the constant communication stream that's always been there. Today, we're going to journey into the heart of this cosmic language system, exploring the channels through which the universe communicates, the symbols and patterns it uses to convey meaning, and most importantly, how you can develop the receptivity to understand what it's been trying to tell you all along. This knowledge has been carefully guarded throughout history because of its transformative power, the ability to align your individual journey with the cosmic currents that shape reality itself. If you're resonating with what you're hearing, if something within you recognizes the truth of these words, take a moment now to join our community of awakened seekers. Subscribe to continue this journey of cosmic discovery, like this video to help others find this crucial information, and share it with those who are ready to hear the universe speaking directly to them. Together, we're remembering what humanity was never meant to forget, the intimate conversation between consciousness and cosmos that has never ceased, not even for a moment. The first and perhaps most profound revelation about the cosmic language is that synchronicity is not a coincidence, but a fundamental mechanism of universal communication. What mainstream science has dismissed as random chance is actually a sophisticated signaling system designed to guide you toward alignment with your highest purpose. When you experience those moments of perfect timing, meeting exactly the right person at exactly the right moment, discovering precisely the information you need when you most require it, you're witnessing the universe actively communicating with you through the orchestration of seemingly unrelated events. This isn't merely a spiritual concept, but a principle that quantum physicists are now beginning to understand through the study of non-local consciousness and entanglement. What the ancient mystics called divine providence, today's leading-edge scientists refer to as a causal connecting principles that operate beyond the constraints of linear time and three-dimensional space. The universe isn't simply responding to your conscious thoughts, it's engaged in an ongoing dialogue with the deeper aspects of your consciousness that exist beyond the limitations of your ego identity. Imagine your life as a vast ocean. On the surface, there are waves and turbulence, your daily thoughts, worries, and conscious desires, but the universe doesn't primarily communicate with this surface activity. Instead, it connects with the profound depths of your being, where your true purpose and authentic self reside. This connection manifests in your physical reality as meaningful coincidences that seem to defy probability, what Carl Jung termed synchronicities. These aren't random, they're messages in the cosmic conversation that's been ongoing since before your birth. Think of the last time you experienced a powerful synchronicity. Perhaps you were thinking about someone seconds before they called, or a book fell open to exactly the page containing the wisdom you needed, or you repeatedly encountered the same unusual number sequence during a period of important decision-making. In these moments, the veil between dimensions temporarily thins, allowing you to perceive the subtle language through which the universe has always been guiding you. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations that you're being heard and responded to by the conscious cosmos. The practical application of this understanding begins with heightened awareness. Start noticing patterns in your experience, recurring themes, numbers, symbols, or encounters that seem statistically improbable. Rather than dismissing these as meaningless coincidences, approach them as potential messages in the cosmic conversation. Keep a synchronicity journal where you record these occurrences, looking for patterns and connections. You'll be amazed at how, once acknowledged, these coincidences tend to increase in frequency and significance, as though the universe is responding to your renewed attention. Even more powerful is learning to ask questions directly, and then remaining receptive to the answers that arrive through synchronistic channels. This isn't about expecting the universe to spell out messages in clouds or arrange phrases in the shape of letters. It's about cultivating a state of open awareness where you recognize the subtle ways universal intelligence responds, through overheard conversations that answer your unspoken questions, through symbolic encounters with animals or natural phenomena, through intuitive nudges that guide you toward experiences containing your answers. What particular synchronicity has appeared most powerfully in your life recently? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be exactly the confirmation someone else needs to recognize the cosmic communication happening in their own life. Each shared experience strengthens our collective understanding of how the universe speaks to us all. The second revelation that transforms your understanding of cosmic communication is that physical reality itself is a vast symbolic language, a living matrix of meaning where every object, encounter, and experience carries messages specifically calibrated to your unique consciousness. What you've been taught to perceive as a solid, objective world is actually a fluid, symbolic interface through which universal intelligence communicates with your awareness. This understanding was central to ancient Egyptian, Hermetic, and indigenous wisdom traditions, who recognized that the material world is the symbolic expression of deeper metaphysical realities. Consider this: your physical senses detect less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, meaning that 99% of what actually exists remains invisible to your ordinary perception. The ancient seers and modern mystics alike have recognized that within this unseen majority of reality exists a vast intelligence that constantly attempts to communicate through the visible portion we call physical reality. Every animal encounter, every natural phenomenon, every seemingly random object that catches your attention contains symbolic information encoded specifically for your consciousness. The universe operates much like a holographic dream, where every part contains information about the whole, and where symbols are the primary language of communication. In your nightly dreams, your unconscious mind doesn't speak to you in literal statements, but through symbolic representations. A house might represent your identity, water might symbolize your emotional state, flying might express your sense of freedom or limitation. In precisely the same way, the waking world, which quantum physics now confirms is equally observer-dependent and non-solid, communicates through a sophisticated symbolic language. Imagine walking through an ancient library where every book is written in a language you've forgotten you know. The symbols are familiar, yet their meaning remains just beyond your conscious grasp. This is your daily experience in the cosmic symbolic matrix. That butterfly that repeatedly appears in your environment isn't just a random insect. It carries specific symbolic meaning related to transformation and metamorphosis, appearing at precisely the moment when you need to receive this message. The sudden appearance of birds outside your window when you're contemplating an important decision isn't coincidental. Birds have traditionally symbolized perspective, freedom, and messages from higher realms across virtually all spiritual traditions. How can you begin decoding this symbolic matrix? Start by recognizing that nothing in your experience is truly random or meaningless. Pay particular attention to recurring symbols, animals, numbers, or themes that appear in your awareness. When something unusual captures your attention, whether a particular cloud formation, an animal sighting, or an object that seems to stand out inexplicably, pause and ask yourself, what might this symbolize for me right now? What message might be embedded in this experience? Develop your own personal symbolic dictionary by documenting the symbols that appear in your life and the intuitive meanings they carry for you. While universal symbolic meanings exist across cultures, like water representing emotion or birds signifying freedom, the most powerful symbolic communication will be uniquely calibrated to your personal consciousness. The universe speaks to you through a dialect of the cosmic language that resonates specifically with your life experience and understanding. If you're finding value in these revelations about the universe's secret language, take a moment now to subscribe and enable notifications so you never miss the next installment in this cosmic conversation. Like this video to help the algorithm share this knowledge with others who are ready to decode the symbolic matrix of their own experience. The simple act of sharing this video could be the synchronistic catalyst that someone in your circle needs to begin their own awakening to the cosmic language. The third, and perhaps most overlooked aspect of cosmic communication is that emotions are not merely personal experiences, but sophisticated frequency transmissions in the universal dialogue. What you've been conditioned to dismiss as subjective feelings are actually precise, energetic broadcasts that directly engage with the conscious field of the universe. This understanding was central to ancient mystical traditions, from the Vedic seers to the Egyptian mystery schools, who recognized that emotional states are languages of consciousness that transcend the limitations of words and thoughts. The universe doesn't primarily communicate through intellectual concepts, but through feeling states that contain vast amounts of information impossible to convey through linear language. Those inexplicable waves of emotion that seem to arrive from nowhere. Sudden joy without apparent cause, unexpected peace in the midst of chaos, instantaneous clarity during confusion aren't random neural misfirings, but precise transmissions in the cosmic conversation. The universe speaks to you through the language of feeling, because emotional frequencies carry information in a holographic rather than linear format, allowing complex understandings to be transmitted instantaneously. Consider how water changes its molecular structure in response to different emotional energies, as demonstrated in Dr. Masaru Emoto's groundbreaking research. Water exposed to feelings of gratitude and love forms beautiful, symmetrical crystalline structures, while water exposed to negative emotions creates chaotic, fragmented patterns. Given that your body is approximately 70% water, just like the planet itself, you are quite literally a receiving and transmitting station for emotional frequency information in constant dialogue with the conscious universe. Imagine your heart as a sophisticated transceiver both receiving and broadcasting emotional frequencies across the quantum field. Ancient traditions understood this when they placed the heart, not the brain, at the center of consciousness. The HeartMath Institute has now scientifically validated that the heart's electromagnetic field extends several feet beyond your physical body and changes its coherence patterns based on emotional states. When you experience intuitive knowing that defies logical explanation, you're receiving information through the heart's direct participation in the universal field, what mystics have called the Akashic records or the cosmic mind. How can you refine your receptivity to this emotional frequency transmission? Begin by recognizing that emotional states aren't simply reactions to external circumstances, but potentially valuable messages in the cosmic dialogue. Practice heart-centered awareness by regularly placing your attention in the heart region and breathing slowly and deeply. Notice how different emotional states feel energetically beyond their mental labels. Certain emotions, particularly gratitude, compassion, and unconditional love, create coherent heart patterns that dramatically enhance your receptivity to universal communication. Most powerfully, you can learn to consciously broadcast specific emotional frequencies that invite corresponding responses from the universe. This is the true mechanism behind what's popularly called the law of attraction, which is actually a law of resonance. By maintaining consistent emotional broadcasts of the feeling states you wish to experience more of in your life, you literally tune your personal frequency to receive corresponding experiences from the universal field. This isn't magical thinking, but quantum resonance, like frequencies attracting like frequencies across the conscious cosmos. What emotional transmissions have you been unknowingly broadcasting to the universe? And what messages might the universe be sending through your emotional experiences that you've been dismissing as random feelings? Share your insights in the comments below. Your experience might help another viewer recognize the emotional language of the universe speaking through their own heart. Through this collective exploration, we expand our understanding of the cosmic conversation that's constantly unfolding within us all. The fourth dimension of the universe's secret language, perhaps the most powerful yet least understood, is that your intentions are not merely personal wishes, but quantum instructions that directly program the fabric of reality. What modern science is only beginning to understand, ancient wisdom traditions have recognized for millennia. Consciousness itself is the fundamental creative force in the universe, and intention is its most precise instrument. The Aboriginal concept of dream time, the Hindu understanding of Sankalpa, and the Hermetic principle of mentalism all point to this same profound truth, that reality is continuously shaped by the quantum architecture of focused intention. You have been taught to believe that your thoughts and intentions are contained within your skull, private and separate from the outer world. But cutting-edge research in quantum physics has shattered this illusion, demonstrating that consciousness is non-local, extending beyond the boundaries of brain and body to directly influence physical systems through intention alone. The Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory spent decades documenting how human intention can statistically influence random event generators, demonstrating that consciousness itself is a causal force in physical reality. The universe functions much like a vast mirror, reflecting back the underlying patterns of your most consistent and emotionally charged intentions. Just as physical reality consists primarily of empty space, atoms being 99% vacuum, there exists an inherent fluidity and receptivity in the quantum field that responds to the organizational force of conscious intention. Each intention you hold sends ripples through the quantum field, informing the probability waves that eventually collapse into the particles of your experienced reality. This is not a metaphor, but a description of the actual mechanics of how consciousness interfaces with physical reality. Imagine standing before a cosmic loom where the threads of possibility await your touch to be woven into the fabric of experience. The universe functions as an infinite field of potential, awaiting the specific instructions of your focused intention to manifest particular patterns of reality. But here's what few understand. The universe doesn't simply respond to your conscious, verbalized intentions, but to the deeper intentions embedded in your subconscious mind and energy field. These are often intentions you're not even aware you're broadcasting. Beliefs about what's possible, expectations of how reality functions, and unexamined assumptions about your place in the cosmos. How can you harness this quantum dimension of cosmic communication? Begin by recognizing that every experience in your life reflects intentions you've held, either consciously or unconsciously. Practice clarifying your intentions through meditation, bringing them from the shadowy realm of the subconscious into the clear light of conscious awareness. When you set an intention, engage your entire being, not just your thoughts, but your emotions, physical sensations, and intuitive knowing to broadcast a coherent signal to the universe. The most powerful practice is maintaining unwavering focus on your intentions while simultaneously releasing attachment to specific outcomes or timelines. This paradoxical state, called by various traditions detached intention, surrendered manifestation, or empty fullness, creates a quantum resonance that allows the universe to respond through optimal pathways that often exceed your limited imagination. Learn to recognize the universe's responses to your intentions not as final results, but as ongoing conversation, each manifestation a reply that offers information to refine your next intention. Remember that intention exists in a complex ecology. Your personal intentions interact with the intentions of countless other conscious beings, creating a dynamic field of co-creation. This is why the universe sometimes responds in unexpected ways that, in retrospect, often prove more aligned with your highest good than your original specific request. The universe isn't ignoring your intentions, but responding to the totality of your being, including aspects of yourself that may hold conflicting intentions or greater wisdom than your conscious mind. If this understanding of the quantum dream time of intention resonates with you, take a moment now to subscribe to our channel and enable notifications. By liking and sharing this video, you participate in expanding humanity's collective understanding of our creative relationship with the conscious cosmos. Your simple action now might be precisely the catalyst another soul needs to awaken to their own creative power in the universe. The fifth and perhaps most intimate dimension of the universe's secret language is that your dreams are not random neural firings, but sophisticated communications from both your deeper self and the conscious cosmos. What modern psychology has reduced to mere subconscious processing is actually an ancient and sacred technology for direct communication with realms of consciousness beyond your waking awareness. From the dream incubation temples of ancient Egypt to the dream yoga practices of Tibetan Buddhism, advanced civilizations across history have recognized dreams as portals through which the universe delivers its most profound messages. The boundaries between your individual consciousness and the universal field dissolve during dream states, creating an optimal environment for direct transmission of cosmic intelligence. Modern neuroscience has confirmed that during REM sleep, the brain's default mode network, associated with your sense of separate self, becomes less active, while unusual neural connections form between regions typically disconnected during waking consciousness. This creates precisely the conditions needed for reception of information beyond your ordinary perceptual filters, allowing the universe to speak to you through a language of personalized symbols, metaphors, and direct experiential knowing. Dreams operate as a sophisticated interface between dimensions of reality normally inaccessible to your waking consciousness. In this state, you're able to receive communications not only from deeper aspects of your own being, but from what various traditions have called the collective unconscious, the Akashic field, or the cosmic mind itself. Those dreams that leave you with a lingering sense of significance, whether through emotional intensity, vivid imagery, or a felt sense of receiving important information, are often direct communications in the cosmic conversation, containing guidance precisely calibrated to your current life journey. Imagine your consciousness as a radio that, during waking hours, is tuned to a specific limited bandwidth of reality, what we call consensus physical reality. During dream states, however, this radio becomes capable of receiving transmissions across a vastly expanded spectrum. Sometimes these transmissions come from stations within your own being, unconscious aspects of yourself attempting to communicate with your waking mind. But other transmissions originate from more distant and expansive sources, what might be called the universal broadcast of cosmic intelligence itself. How can you enhance your receptivity to this dream-time dimension of cosmic communication? Begin by setting a clear intention before sleep to remember your dreams and to receive guidance relevant to your current life questions. Keep a dream journal by your bedside and record your dreams immediately upon waking, before the delicate web of dream memory dissolves in the light of day. Look for recurring symbols, themes, or dream scenarios, which often indicate persistent messages the universe is attempting to convey to you. The most powerful practice is learning to engage with your dreams as an ongoing dialogue. Before sleep, ask specific questions of the universe, your higher self, or whatever term resonates with your understanding of cosmic intelligence. Upon waking, receive the dream response not as a final answer, but as one exchange in an evolving conversation. Respond to significant dreams through conscious action in your waking life. This signals to the universe that you're actively participating in the dialogue and invites clearer, more specific dream communications in return. With dedicated practice, you can develop the capacity for lucid dreaming, becoming consciously aware that you're dreaming while still within the dream state. This creates a revolutionary opportunity for direct, conscious engagement with the cosmic language system. In the lucid dream state, you can actively engage with dream figures, ask them direct questions, and receive immediate responses from aspects of consciousness normally beyond your waking access. Many traditions consider this the most advanced form of cosmic communication, allowing not only reception of universal intelligence, but conscious participation in the co-creative dialogue between your being and the cosmos. Have you experienced dreams that felt like more than just dreams, messages or visitations that carried a sense of profound significance or guidance? What symbols or scenarios repeatedly appear in your dreamscape, perhaps carrying persistent messages you've yet to fully decode? Contemplate these questions and share your insights in the comments below. Your dream experiences might illuminate aspects of the cosmic language that others are just beginning to recognize in their own nocturnal journeys. As we draw together these 5 dimensions of the universe's secret language: synchronicity, symbolic reality, emotional frequency, quantum intention, and sacred dreaming, a profound realization emerges. You have never been separate from the cosmic conversation. What you have experienced as loneliness, isolation, or spiritual disconnection has been merely the result of forgetting a language you were born knowing, like an amnesiac who can no longer understand their mother tongue, yet remains surrounded by its constant expression. The universe has been speaking to you since before your first breath, through the precise timing of events in your life, through the symbolic matrix of physical reality, through the emotional frequencies that pulse through your being, through the manifestation of your deepest intentions, and through the sacred technology of your dreams. This conversation hasn't been happening around you, but through you. You are simultaneously both the receiver and the medium of this cosmic communication, both the listener and the instrument through which the universe expresses its intelligence. What we call awakening is simply the remembrance of your native fluency in this universal language, the recognition that you have always been in intimate communion with a conscious cosmos that knows you more completely than you know yourself. This isn't a distant goal to be achieved through arduous spiritual practice, but an ever-present reality waiting to be recognized beneath the noise of conditioned perception and fragmented attention. The veil that appears to separate you from direct communion with universal intelligence is as substantial as a shadow, real only to the extent that you turn away from the light of your own awareness. The most revolutionary understanding is that this cosmic conversation isn't merely informative, but transformative. Each time you consciously engage with any dimension of the universe's secret language, you're not simply receiving information, but participating in an alchemical process that transforms your very being. The universal intelligence doesn't communicate with you to add to your knowledge, but to awaken you to what you already are, a focal point of consciousness through which the cosmos experiences and expresses itself in a completely unique way that has never existed before and will never exist again. As you develop your receptivity to the cosmic language, you'll discover that the conversation becomes increasingly precise, intimate, and tailored to your unique journey. The synchronicities become more frequent and meaningful, the symbolic messages more clear and relevant, the emotional transmissions more refined and informative, the manifestation of intentions more aligned and elegant, and the dream communications more direct and applicable. It's as though the universe has been whispering to you all along, and as you begin to listen, it no longer needs to shout to get your attention. This isn't merely a personal evolutionary journey, but a collective remembrance. As each individual awakens to the cosmic conversation, the entire human family moves closer to remembering our true nature as conscious expressions of universal intelligence. Your personal attunement to the secret language of the universe isn't separate from humanity's collective attunement. They are fractal expressions of the same evolutionary impulse toward conscious communion between part and whole, between the individual and the cosmic. The time for this remembrance is now. The accelerating complexity of our world, the mounting ecological and social challenges we face, and the limits of our old paradigms of understanding all point to the urgent need for humanity to reclaim our native fluency in the language of life itself. You're not receiving this information by accident, but through a precise orchestration of cosmic timing that has brought your awareness to this exact moment of remembrance. The question isn't whether the universe is speaking to you, but whether you're ready to consciously participate in the conversation that has been ongoing since the dawn of your existence. If this journey of cosmic remembrance calls to something deep within you, take a moment now to join our community of awakened seekers. Subscribe to continue receiving these transmissions of remembrance, like this video, to help others find this crucial information, and share it with those who might be ready to recall their own native fluency in the secret language of the universe. Together, we're remembering what humanity was never meant to forget, that we exist within a living, conscious cosmos that communicates with us through every dimension of our experience, inviting us into ever more profound communion with the source of our being. Be sure to watch the video appearing on your screen now for the next stage in this journey of cosmic remembrance.